let's just start with the Indy Test, because you were in a car very recently
Yes.
with a different team. We were both out there. You were with Dale Coyne Racing. I want you to tell the folks kind of how that even happened and what you were doing before then, because I saw you walking by my garage and you said, well, I'm driving tomorrow. I was like, well, what? We had no idea.
Yeah, so, I knew the test was happening, so thought it was a smart idea given my situation to go to Indianapolis and just show my face and arrange some meetings, try to get into the conversation. And it was noon on Thursday. Just finished working out, washing my sweat off, and it's always those kind of times from what you told me, like when I'm drying myself off after a shower, when Dale called me and he asked me what I was doing and if I wanted to be in the car. So that was, a little bit short notice, but I rushed to the ECR shop, actually, got my seat, helmet stuff, and got to the track and got in the car. So yeah, that was interesting. Nothing I've been familiar with, but it was a great experience.
Yeah, welcome to being kind of on the sidelines every now and then. You just got to be ready to go whenever. It is what it is. And then now you have also recently moved to Indianapolis as well, or in the process of moving to Indianapolis. So you're making the move, making the commitment to be around these teams, to be more locked into the environment. Is that kind of just because it was a bit of an unexpected turn with the off season and how this whole separation of team and driver happened?
Yes, I was actually planning already in July to go to move to Indy, also to just travel less, be more central. But then, I think that actually will help me in the off season to just be in that place and be ready whenever if that has to happen sometime. But no, I think actually when I still thought I was going to race with ECR, I thought it was a great plan to also just be there and be there for pit stop practice and everything, just to be around the team, right? So in whatever case, I think moving to Indianapolis is a good thing.
So let's talk a little bit about what you've done. Again, you're still super young, which is crazy, but you've had a lot of success. And this world, and I certainly think the other teams as well, they're so easy to not, I think there's so much for you to be proud of in the short amount of time. But give us a little bit of a read on when you started with ECR, right? Rookie, there are people that said, at the beginning, obviously there were some mistakes, but you were also super fast, and that's kind of part of the game, right? And at Indy, you've been insanely fast in qualifying. Obviously, you're a psycho at Indy qualifying, always on the front row. It seems like if you're not on the front row, then you either had no wheels on your car or something was going to be falling off or melting. But talk us a little bit about your learning experience and talk us through your rookie year to then, all right, now you're winning a race, and then I guess sort of the back end of it now, not the back end of your career, but the back end of the deal with ECR. Tell us kind of how that went from rookie year to now.
Yeah, as a rookie, I got to IndyCar thinking, I knew what to do coming from Indy Lights at that time. And then Texas happened. I wasn't ready. That was quite the learning experience. And
I remember.
I've been really quick. It's just, as a rookie, you make rookie mistakes. That's why the whole phrase exists.
Someone actually asked us about your conversation with Ed after Texas, or there was a conversation. Maybe was that like a come to Jesus type meeting? Was there what was said there about like, hey, we need to clean things up, or we know you're fast, and then we know you can deliver, or how did that go?
Oh, you mean in Texas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it wasn't those words. He was,
okay.
He raced himself, so he was all sweaty. He was kind of like he just had a top 10 finish. He had a pretty good race. And he comes out of the car and you could just, you see him boiling from inside. His face is red. He's like, I thought he was going to punch me at one time, but no, he he was angry.
guy,
And the thing that made him the most angry, I think, is because on the simulator, I did go below the line. I did get into the marbles, and he's like, "Oh, you gotta, you cannot do that in real life." I'm like, "Okay," and I can't. I did that in real life, and it didn't really work out. So that was learning experience. But then I had a pole position podium in my rookie year. Then 2021, I win in Indy on the road course. Really, I was sitting P6 in standings coming out of Detroit. Broke my collarbone, and then from then on, still had a pole position in 2023 in 2022 in Barber.
Yeah.
And a podium. So I kind of have been in a drought from then on. And I feel like that's really when also the whole competition in IndyCar started to pick up to a way where there's alliances, there's a top 12 that's almost you can almost not break into. So that's kind of when I've felt like it's the level's really gone up right now.
I think having worked with you for several years, I know what we had to go through or were going through. And when I see, when I saw what you did and when I could see your data, it's so fast. And honestly, having you as a teammate for me was very, very beneficial because obviously, I was really only had any good results at Indy. But other than that, we were close to having a few good things here and there, but you're still the same driver that won the race. You're still the same driver that is on the pole, is on the podium, but obviously the results over the last year and a half or so have fallen off. That I don't think people often understand how difficult it is to stay at the elite level of competition. And you just said everyone is so competitive now. So was there maybe a bit of a just falling off of, hey, we haven't been able to keep up with the development there at the team? And again, I don't want to talk.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm here to talk about positive things, but like I obviously could say everyone I think expects me to come on here and just trash talk ECR, which I'm not really interested in doing. But it is. But one thing leads to another, and this there are real reasons why they had a guy who's a race winner who is so successful at this level of the series, maybe all of a sudden not be where he was. It's not. It's a whole team effort in general. This is not one fault of one person.
No, and I mean, I believe, that with ECR, we've kind of, especially 2023, been stuck at a level where others progressed and other teams got a lot better. We kind of got stuck where we were. But I believe right now, and, you said I'm still the same driver as the driver that won a race, that got pole positions, podiums. I believe this year, 2024, was my best season I've ever driven. Like, I feel like I'm putting races together.
Yeah. Same as in you haven't fallen off. Like, you're definitely even more, I would say, smarter and better now. That's just kind of what I meant for sure.
Yes, and I just, I feel like, I'm doing some stuff out there that, I'm kind of impressed with myself. But then, you can't always show that, the same as Nashville. We had a great race, but then every time we pitted, they went yellow. And that's P12. But, you got to salvage those results whenever something like that happens.
Let's talk a little bit about Indy, because a lot of speed at Indy. You're so good at qualifying there. And I struggle qualifying there. I think you can always find a reason. Like, I'm like, oh, man, I didn't quite get that. But where do you attribute your ability to just find everything possible at Indy? What is it about your driving style that helps you be, an absolute savage in qualifying, but also in the race too, but more particularly qualifying?
Well, I think confidence is one thing. Confidence, when we're trimming, just sticking it with the throttle, but also, the little things as in not scrubbing speed off and straightening out the wheel kind of mid-corner, aiming at the wall, but, starting to build those RPMs mid-corner. I think that's where I'm really comfortable with. And it's just kind of that I I feel like that's just a natural connection that I had with the Speedway. It did me a few times. We've had a few. If you look at 2024 qualifying in Indy, it was quite a crazy story, but still, I was on the bad side of things at one point of the day, and the other side of the day, I was on the good side of things. So things can change so quickly, but I feel like, even with the Dale Coyne car, just the confidence at that track, it just feels so familiar.